Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, and for my new subscribers, I'm very glad you're joining us. My name is Yvonne. In today's video we're flipping through the waterfall journal I made, and I made a tutorial series of this journal, but I'm going to post it as a separate video because there are always people who like to watch flip-throughs, and then you don't need to watch the complete tutorial series. But if you're interested in making this kind of journal, I will link the part 1 of the series down below, and you can check it out and make your own journal. I really love this style because it's completely something different than a traditional journal, and I really like how the pages flow and are a bit wider with every page. There is lace on the spine, a fabric back cover, and there is a flip out on top. The journal measures approximately 8 3/4 by 7.5, and in centimeters it's about 22 centimeters by 19. I just closed it with ribbon because, yeah, it's going to bulk up. It's already pretty bulky with all the embellishments, but I wanted, first I thought make an eyelet there, but yeah, I discarded that idea because I really like just the ribbon. You can take it off and then you can position it the way you want. Normally the eyelet you would put it in the middle and then it would be over her face, and that's something I didn't want to do. So it just opens up, the ribbon is completely loose, and then this is the first flip. Inside is a beautiful card with journaling space on the back. It flips open to this side. I made a collage, or in the tutorial we made a collage. This journal is for sale, so if you're interested, please let me know. My email address is in the description box and we'll discuss it. On the back, beautiful paper, a lace pocket and a little snippet, and inside is a journaling card and writing space on the back. Throughout the complete journal, except some small embellishment, I used different kinds of kits from Ruby and Pearl, and I will link them in the description box which one I used. Then this flips open like this. This is a coin envelope with a little collage, some lace, and inside, doesn't want to come out. I made it from really sturdy card because then it would be easier to take it out. And I just left the beautiful image of the paper that was included in one of the kits. And on the back, vintage ledger, and this can serve as a tuck spot. And for journaling space, it's flip. I didn't put a closure on here because when it flips it stays closed anyway. This is a faux vintage envelope, and I roughened it up a bit. A beautiful cluster, a little rusted safety pin with some seam binding on it. Beautiful image in the back, and this is a floppy journaling card with all the pieces hanging loose, inspired by chapter 1. Beautiful tickets on there, and on the back there's journaling space, and that tucks in the envelope. Yeah. Then this closes up again. Then we flip it to this side. There's a top tuck of a beautiful image. Inside a journaling card, and again the back beautifully decorated, added some lace, and this also just letting the papers speak in their own beauty. So you don't always have to embellish really much. Little bow for some extra interest and journaling space on the back. And that tucks in there. Here, this is a real vintage crochet doily. I put a paper clip because this is a bit loose, and then this can be wiggling around. It's not per se a great problem, but just for safety. Again, the journaling card with a lot of layering, texture paste, lace on the bottom, and on the back it's real vintage. It was the index of a postage stamp book, and I left it because you can journal on it. That tucks in here. You see, this is a bit loose, but I really wanted a bigger card to go in here, and that's why the paper clip. I'll attach it later. This is a large envelope, and all the items are attached with fabric, only here I covered them up. Here you don't see the fabric, just on the sides, but here with the envelope, because it's the last piece, and the envelope is made out of a collaged, one large piece as a base and collaged on, so that's why it's on top of there. And all the different papers, it opens up. Beautiful sentiment as a closure, and in here I put for the recipient some different vellum papers in different colors. Throughout the complete journal I added all kinds of papers and ephemera, so the person who buys this journal can start using it. Beautiful white textured, yeah, you can't see it, but I can feel it. And a tea bag. This is a book page. Some of the full washi tape. Prints of the kit, and put some double-sided tape on there, and you can use it as washi tape. That all goes back in here. The envelope is ideal to put some ephemera in when you're working in the journal. Some French lace. It's not really meant, it can be a top tuck, but I didn't mean it like that. I just wanted the page above the image was a bit plain, and I wanted to juice it up a bit with the lace and a safety pin and a charm. Beautiful image. Everything is, all the digitals are backed with another digital, and the background papers are not from Ruby and Pearl, they're different, but I'll link all the papers I used in the description box. A book page, it's not really part of the waterfall, but when you flip this page, it is part of the waterfall. This is a faux vintage letter to be used as extra ephemera, or you can cut it up and use it as a background. This is Braille paper, and I made a snippet with a sentiment. Ruby and Pearl has a digital of now, with a die-cut flower and the doily. And in there I just put some items for the recipient to start crafting her own, and some texture paste, a flower, and I chose the purple because the purple's in there, and the tape, the vintage kind of a measuring tape that peeks out of there. The Braille paper, some embossing on a note card paper I really love this paper. I love the green. In there, just a die cut flower and a tag to be used and embellished further. A digital on the back, again, a background paper. This is the only digital not from Ruby and Pearl. I made a mistake. I just wanted to use a faux envelope with the texture paste, and I had this, so I stuck it in, and then I remembered it's not Ruby and Pearl, but that doesn't matter. I wanted to try to make a journal almost completely from one digital design. Some Japanese paper, always beautiful to decorate with, and some real vintage book page, beautiful coloring, and just a piece of ephemera I had in my stash just to include a bit pop of color. Vintage music paper, and in here, on here, most ephemera I paper clipped it on, if I can get it off, so the recipient doesn't have to leave it where it is. And because it's pretty bulky, the person who buys this journal can remove it and use it in another journal. This is a small journal, and it's a die cut. I have a die cut in this shape, so that's the shape I took, and it's backed with tea-dyed cardstock, and I made a little collage on the front and some lace on the spine, and in here some more of the homemade washi with 2 digitals of Ruby and Pearl, and inside again digitals, vintage music page, vintage ledger, green dyed paper, a receipt, but it's fake, it's not real vintage, it's white on the back. Old dictionary page with a little flip, coffee dyed paper, and a beautiful image in the middle, and then the same in the back. I used a beautiful image, so that will go back there. Then a digital again, and I backed this digital with a digital ledger I have. It's from a real vintage ledger I have in my stash, and now I can print them. This also journaling card. We make this journaling card in the tutorial series. Just a beautiful use of images and papers of the kids. On the back I have a real vintage calendar, planner paper, but I also digitalized them, and now I can make it in the size I want, and I thought it was nice, you can journal on it. And that goes on here with the paper clip, so you can move it around or even use it in another journal if you want. Wrapping paper, beautiful digital from the collection. This also a lace belly band and the faux receipt. On the back also. And the beautiful Alphonse Mucha image with some lace and a flower. This is vintage receipt paper, French paper. The digital. On here I decorated a vellum bag with some wrapping paper and a beautiful image, some lace, and I stuck it down so it becomes a tuck spot for extra writing. And in here is also a Mucha, Alphonse Mucha card I had in my stash. This is the German font paper the people who follow me know I adore. So it had to go in here. It's really old and fragile, but it's beautiful paper. The digital, you can see the pages getting wider and wider as we come to the middle. A digital vintage music paper, and because later I thought this is a bit busy next to each other, and I had an image from one of the kits I didn't use, so I made a pocket for extra secret writing. You can put it in there. And the ledger paper, yeah, it's just paper clip on. You can use this as a pocket when you close it, or you can tear it and tear this off if you want that. And I just included some wrapping paper I love to use, and a beautiful large doily, all to be used in the journal. And an index card, a coffee date. So just all ephemera. So if the recipient wants to use this as a writing journal, she can. You can remove almost every item of the ephemera. This, yeah, the small pieces, they are stuck down. I thought it coordinated very well with the paper. Just a small collage to give it a bit more interest. I put some beads on the signature strings. There are 64 pages in total in the journal, and because it's a waterfall, you can see this is not exactly folded exactly in the middle, so you have the waterfall effect even now. The back of the ledger, I just put some white lace, a bit ruffled on the corner, and it's sticking out on two sides. Here again, you can make a pocket. Here I made a tuck spot of lace. So now the beautiful music paper can stay, you don't have to cover it up. Just a simple tag for journaling space. I put it in here, and a piece of dotted embossed paper to be used in this or another journal. This is the rest of a digital. Here also, this is the German font paper. This is an altered envelope. I made that on video also, but it's a different video. It's a video where I make just ephemera, and this was one of the ephemera pieces I made, so I'll link that down below also. And it's I left the envelope on the back the way it is because it's textured and it's a real vintage envelope, so I thought that, yeah, you may show that because it's very old. The digital, the receipt paper, here again the beautiful digital here also, and you can use this as a pocket, but I just wanted to veil the image. This is a large flip of the packaging paper. You can just tear it if it's too much, and you can use it in this or another journal. This is also a printable from one of the kits to be used for collaging. Here also beautiful image, just backed with a little script, and because there are white flowers in the trees, I veiled it also with the dotted sheer fabric to enhance the picture. The ledger and the digital, the vintage music paper. This is also made on video. You can take it off. It's just a background paper with some trim on the paper clip that also can be removed, so you can also use the ribbons in another project. Really like this image. She's so cute. The digital, here is just a little flap from the note paper, and I stuck a really beautiful embossed paper on here and a doily and some measuring tape, and this can be used in this or another journal. The back of the braille paper, and it was folded over, and to give it a bit more interest I collaged on it and put some ephemera pieces in here. They can be removed because they're just stuck down with the paper clip. The vintage book page. This is also a tag clipped on with the paper clip. Again, background paper. And this tag is also made on camera, so if you want to make it, you can. And the back is plain for journaling. Let's slide on there again. And the back also beautiful digital, and here are the same. And this I made as a tuck spot, and in here will be the letter note from the bookkeeper. I always like to include it in my journals. So that was the final flip through of the Waterfall Journal. I hope you liked it and hope you got inspiration out of it. I have to move this a bit. Put it like that. Has to go a bit further. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed this flip through and maybe it gave you some ideas. And if you want, you can follow the tutorial and you can make this journal on your own. As always, thank you so much for watching and supporting my channel. I really appreciate you all taking the time to watch my videos and comment on them, like them. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!